This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So what is this release procedure? How to handle the release procedure? We'll see today's session. So before that, let me open Notepad. Go to Notepad. So this release procedure is a upload process. Okay. So what is the release procedure? How to handle the release procedure? We need to discuss here. Okay. The release process is upload process. Okay. So now why the release process is required? And and without release procedure, what happened here? For generally for SAP. Okay, so here in domains for the purchase department, so we have a lot of people will be there, different hierarchy. Okay, so now sometimes the purchase executive here. Okay, so the purchase executive he will create a PO. Okay, so for some keeping some materials and all. Let us for purchase executive we will give some conditions here. Okay, the conditions means so whenever he is creating PO up to 10,000 euros, so we can allow it. If it is more than 10,000 euros, whatever the currency, whether euro or INR, whatever the currency, it is subjected to approval process. So here next the purchase manner need to be released here. For the manager also will give some limits. If it is more than that, so senior manager like up to CEO MD level, you can configure the release procedure. Not only net order value, some other parameters also. Okay. So generally the release procedures we have two types of procedures will be there. But release procedure is applicable for all the purchase documents. Internal purchase document, that is a purchase requisition also. So how many types of internal purchase documents is there? Only one here. Okay. Internal purchase document as well as external purchase documents also we can perform the release procedure. For internal purchase document as well as external purchase document. External purchase documents RFQ, okay. So PO, contracts, purchase agreement. So all the external purchase documents also. Okay, so the release procedure we can apply here. So without release procedure, so what happened? There is no control here. Sometimes user will procure the material, the vendor will dispatch. Okay. So for that I want to restrict my procurement, so then I have to go for the release procedure. So tell me what is the navigation path? Okay. The navigation path is for now let me open the server. Go to login tab. Click on login. So enter the user ID password here. So my system here. So for release procedure for all the purchase documents you can apply internal and external. So go to SPRO. It's a preference IMG. Now just observe the path here. So go to materials management. In materials management, suppose if you go to purchasing, in purchasing, now if I go to purchase order here, first we'll go to purchase requisition. Okay. So release procedure two types is there. One is release procedure without classification. Second one is release procedure without with classification. Okay. The difference also let me explain. But release procedure are two procedures is there. Like same automatic automation we have two procedures there. The same way, the one is a release procedure without a classification. One procedure is there. The second one is a release procedure with classification. Another procedure. Release procedure without classification. Release procedure with classification. So this release procedure without classification, release procedure with classification. What is the difference? Also, I'll explain you. Okay, so before that, actually, you need to understand this purchase requisition. We can apply both. We can apply release procedure with classification. Also, we can apply release procedure without classification. Also, we can apply. Only the purchase requisition we can apply for both here. Okay. If I go to release procedure, so the release procedure This is with setup procedure without classification is also possible for the PR, and with classification is also possible here. So if I without classification, mostly 99% no company is not going to use. Mostly everybody will use release procedure with classification only. In with classification, if I apply, so you will find some steps here. Okay, what are the steps here? Edit characteristics, class, set up release procedure with classification, and check release strategies. Okay, so release procedure without classification, with classification, you can apply only PR here. Okay, now if I come to purchase order, purchase order is external purchase document, right? If I go to purchase order, so everywhere I will show you release procedure for purchase order only will apply only release procedure with classification only. Immediately steps will be open. Edit characteristics, class, release procedure for purchase orders, check release strategies. Okay, so this release procedure for purchase order also you can observe. And apart from this purchase regulation, okay, we go to purchase regulation. In purchase regulation also, so we observed both purchase order also we observed. Now if I come to RFQ, for RFQ also external purchase document, only release procedure for RFQ, only with classification only. Like that you can go and you can see for contract and schedule agreement also. If I go to contracts also, in contract also you will find the release procedure for contracts. Okay, for only one procedure. For all the external purchase documents we need to use. For all the external purchase documents we need to use release procedure with classification. All the external purchase documents, For all the external purchase documents like RFQ, PO, contract schedule agreement will use. So external purchase documents like RFQ, PO, contract and schedule agreement will use second procedure release procedure with classification. Okay, so release procedure without classification, okay, only internal purchase document. Purchase requisition only you can go with release procedure with without classification, and all external purchase document and including your PR also here. Including your PR also means the release procedure with classification you can use internal purchase document PR as well as external purchase document. But without classification only PR. So this you need to understand. But what is without classification? What is with classification? The difference you need to understand. Okay. What is without classification? What is with classification? Okay. Simply you need to understand the difference here. See, if I am going with release procedure without classification, okay. So it is released only item by item. So the release procedure without classification, we can release only item by item here. First difference you need to understand. So let me go to one by one difference here. Okay. So release procedure without classification with classification. Okay, we can release only item by item. We can release only release procedure without classification. We can release item by item. Means in the purchase document I have 10 line items. We cannot release all the items at a time. Only one by item, one by one item. In PR I have some couple of line items. One by one line item and I can release it. But if I go to release procedure with classification, only header level, only header level, not item by item. So release procedure with classification, you can release header level. So directly release procedure tab also will be updated in header level. Directly header level you need to release. It is not possible item by item. At a time you need to release. So this is the difference. In without classification, only item by item. With classification, only header level for all the purchase documents here, including PR also. Okay. So next, the second difference here. So here there is no, so in item release procedure without classification, so there is no communication structure here. No communication. Let me explain what is the communication structure here. What you write down. So there is no communication structure is available. Communication structure here. Okay. Communication structure is available. No communication structure is available in release procedure without classification, but communication structure is available. Okay, so in release procedure with classification, communication structure is available. You need to write down. Okay, communication structure is available in release procedure with classification. Without classification, there is no communication structure here. So where we'll see this communication structure? The communication structure will be seen SE11. Okay, right? In release procedure without classification, so here we need to create some characteristics and class values. So in release procedure with classification, we need to create characteristics and class values. And in release procedure without classification, there is no communication structures. So now there is no communication structure is there in release procedure without classification, but with classification, communication structure is there. Okay, so where we'll see these communication structures? The communication structures you can use in HC11 transaction code here. Okay, In AC11 transaction code, you can see the communication structure. Okay, now you can write down for purchase requisition communication structure here. So if you see the purchase requisition communication structure, you can see in C1 here. Okay, C1 table. C1 is the communication structure. Purchase requisition communication structure is C1. All external purchase document communication structure. Okay, so all external purchase document communication structure is a CEKKO. Is a CEKKO. So only PR is CBAN. For all external purchase document communication structure is CEKKO. So release procedure, there are two procedures. One is without classification, second one is with classification. It is release procedure upload process. So in this, all the purchase document we can apply. Purchase requisition, okay, we can apply only without classification. You can apply for only PR. So in this is you can write down here. This is also one difference here. Okay. Now suppose second difference. So only PR here. Release procedure without classification. Only PR here. Only PR here. This is also one difference you can see here. Okay. So only PR purchase requisition only we can release here. So this is actually all external purchase documents. All the purchase documents we can check. All purchasing documents. So this is the third difference. Okay. The second difference and third difference. You can say this is the difference you need to understand. So now one by one side and explain. So this is item by item. This is only header level. And second one only PR we can apply this procedure. And this procedure we can apply for all the purchase documents. In this there is no communication structure. In this communication structure is available. Note you can write down communication structure we can see in AC11 and communication structure for PR is C1 and all external purchase documents CEKKO. Now today I'll show you how to apply the release procedure for external purchase. Mostly we'll go with PO, right? So if I'll explain one PO, you can do all the external purchase documents. Okay. Now my requirement. Okay, so I want to define the release procedure for the PO here. So the requirement will be given by your client people here. Okay. So let us see. I will show you communication section. What is the transition code here? You can see SC11. I will show you communication section where we'll see. Okay. Go to SC11. Here I will see the communication section. The SC11 is the transition code to see the communication section for PR CBAN. For PR CBAN. For purchase requisition CBAN. Now communication structure we have so many fields will be there. In the communication structure we have so many fields is there. There are so many fields is there for communication structure. For CBAN. First time we are going to enter, so that's what is updating here. So this is the communication structure, the communication release strategy for the requisition. See in real time, not only net order value. So they may ask whenever you are using particular purchase group or document type. Okay, whenever they are using particular plant. So these are the fields. Client to client requirement will be different. So they will ask you. So once you are getting the requirement from the client, here you need to check whether they want in based on the document type, whether they want a particular purchase group, or whether they want a particular plant. So a number of fields will be there. So here you can see for all the fields will be there in communication section for PRE C1 for all external purchase document S11. What is the communication structure for external purchase document? CEKKO. CEKKO for external purchase document. If I go to display, so this is a communication release strategy for the external purchase documents. Okay. Communication release strategy for the external purchase documents. So everything your client will ask you. Now today actually I will show you simply based on the purchase group they required communication section. Means particular buyer group whenever they are creating, it has to subject to the release strategy. Okay. Now let us see. Now to perform this actually now entire system only one class here. So this is always you need to keep in your mind. If you want, you can note here. Release strategy in entire system only one class. Batch management we discussed. That's what after the batch management why I am planning for release procedure because in batch management we observed how to create characteristics and how to create a class here. Okay. So in entire system, so the class will be only one. Okay. Now go to SPRO, SAP reference IMG. Now come to purchase order. In purchase order, okay, so if you want to define the release procedure for purchase order, release procedure for the purchase order. So release procedure for purchase order, release procedure for purchase order. So in real time, they're completely entire system only one class, right? But in training system, Okay, so somebody is already practiced, we don't know, right? First of all, we need to observe. Okay, define release procedure. First, you need to go to this step here. So before going to edit characteristics class here, first you need to go to the define release strategy for the purchasers. So first step you need to write. So you need to go here, define release for purchasers. You will get one pop-up. Okay. So you will find release strategies here. So again, you need to click on release strategies. You need to click on release strategies. Okay. Some strategies is already there. Okay. So now this is most important here. So this strategy is already there, right? Just observe here. Okay. Now if I go to release groups here, first one, so just observe, don't write. First you click on this, just observe. Release groups, already one class is there, FRG underscore EKKO, one class is there. So if you want to practice the new strategy in entire system, the class should be unique here. I should not use because I want to show you how to create a class here. So that's what you need to do. What you need to do. So here you are in the third step, right? Define release procedure. So double click on this release strategy. Delete all the strategies here. If you want to practice new one, so you must delete. So select all and delete all the strategies first. Delete number of entries is going to delete, no problem. You need to click on delete here. You need to click on delete and you need to click on save. So all the strategies we deleted because I want to practice for you also in training system. You need to delete all the strategies. Okay. And you need to save. Next release indicator don't touch here, only just observe. What is release indicator we'll discuss here. Only release indicator you should not delete here, it is important. Just observe. Now why it is release indicator also I'll explain to you. Now come back, then go to release codes here. Release codes, okay, just delete all the release codes here. The team leader, director, supervisor, so all the release codes also you need to delete. Okay, so here the deletion will be always down to up. Relation should be always down to up deletion. Okay, so next select all and delete all the release codes here. Okay, and release codes also need to delete and you need to click on save. Next come back. Next what I need to do, I need to group here. The group also select all and delete the group here. Okay, so select all and delete the group here. So all the groups you need to delete. You need to click on save. Now once again show you. So the release procedure. Okay, so here there are two types of release procedure: without classification, with classification. Without classification we can apply only PR. With classification we can apply PR and as well as external purchase document. Communication structure is available in the with classification. Without classification communication structure is not there. So without classification only item level, but with classification header level. Okay, but if I want to define, first of all, so which purchase document you want to define, directly release procedure for purchase document. Directly open the release procedure purchase, you will get the pop-up. In this pop-up, open the all the release strategies. So first you need to delete the all the strategies. Why you are doing? Because in entire system only one class. So delete all the strategies and next indicator observe codes you need to delete. The next you need to delete the groups you need to delete. And you should not delete groups, codes. So if you come to up to down, inconsistency will be happened here. Okay, this is the strict procedure we need to follow. If you want, you can make your own also. The deletion always strategies, codes, then groups, down to up. It should not be up to down. Okay. So now we are eligible. We can perform the release strategy in our system. If I want to release strategy, who will give the requirement? Requirement will be given by client people. On what base they required. So now the requirement is given based on the purchase groups here. So first of all, what I need to do. So now the first step here, after doing this activity, so where I need to go? Edit characteristics. In batch management with classification already we discussed, right? Edit characteristics. So what is the transition code? CT04. The same way you need to create a okay, new characteristics value, same like batch management. Okay. I want to create new characteristics in CT04 transition code. So I want to create a new characteristics char. Okay, so your char underscore So this P group here, okay, char underscore, so char underscore purchase group here, char underscore purchase group here. Okay, so I'm creating a new characteristics. Okay, so char underscore P group means purchase group. I want to create purchase group. So go to C204. Now we need to click on create button. This is a change and display. So if it is already there, you can add any other value also. Okay, so you need to click on create. Now, once you'll get this screen here, first where you need to go, you need to go to the in CD04. Once you'll enter the your character's name, go to additional data. Go to additional data. In additional data, so go to directly additional data, enter your table name. What is the table name I need to enter? So already I discussed with you, right? So for all the external purchase document communication section is CEKK, right? So for all whenever PR, RFQ, PO contract, all external purchase document you need to enter the table name as CEKKO. Here you need to enter CEKKO. So this is the table name, communication section name you need to enter. What is the field name I need to enter? What is the field name I need to enter? Your client requirement is based on the purchase group, right? So now this time please open your okay. So we're into go to your simply you check your field name in SC11 transition code communication group. Go to SC11, enter your communication section, go to display. Okay, so go to display. In display, you can see purchase group. Okay, so here data type is character format, and here you observe. So this is the purchase group, right? So what is the table name here? This is the field name EKGRP. You need to identify. Okay, which field your client is asking purchase group. So identify your field name EKGRP. This EKGRP where I need to enter. So while I am creating communicate characteristics here, I need to enter EKGRP. Okay, enter your table name as well as enter your field name. Now please observe all this, everybody. So if you click on continue, what happened immediately? The system has to give the information message. Format data taken as ABAP dictionary. Okay, format data information has to come here. Otherwise, it is not correct. Format data taken from the ABAP dictionary. Where additional data, right? If you click on continue, automatically the system will convert into basic data only. Okay, if I click on continue, whatever system is going to convert automatically. Means you no need to write the field name, the number of characteristics, what is the character format, everything system will pick in backend settings. Okay, so now only how many release procedures? Not only one purchase group. I want to multiple purchase group. Here value measurement I need to select multiple values. Value measurement what I need to select here? Multiple values. Okay. Now just you go observe the basic data one and enter your value assignment is multiple purchase groups. If you require only one purchase group, okay, no problem. But multiple purchase groups, you need to select multiple values. Now please observe, go to description. Okay, so enter the description purchase group. Okay, the system is taken. In values tab, on what purchase group you want to maintain the release tab. On what purchase group? Who will give you? Client will give you. So I want a 001 purchase group. I want a 002 purchase group, or I want 100 purchase group, the client will give you. Okay, so client will give you a list of purchase groups. In based on these three purchase groups, I want to define my strategy. Based on these three purchase groups, I want to define. In value tab, enter your purchase group. This will be given to your client. And additional data already we observed. In value tab, you need to enter the value. In additional tab, already we observed. Go to restriction tab. For batch management, we enter 0 to 3 to restriction. Now this time we need to enter 0, 3 to. So it is for release strategy. For batch management 0 to 3. For release process, we need to enter 0, 3 to for the release. So why we are entering the class tab? Because I am restricting. It should not be this class. The characteristics value should not be used for any other purpose. So I am restricting. I am entering to the 0, 3 to. Okay. So now we need to click on stop. So I created a new characteristics. Like that, you can create a couple of characteristics as per your business requirement. I created only one, but you can create multiple characteristics also. So I created a new characteristic value, char underscore purchase. So how I created ABC? Okay, so same thing here. Okay, copy this value, char underscore purchase group, and enter your notepad here. So what is the purchase group I create? What is the characteristics I created? Char underscore purchase group. Okay. Next, like that, you can create a number of characteristics. Next, simply, I need to go to class here, edit class. So CT04 is the characteristics batch management we observed. Batch management second topic we observed, right? How to create characteristics. Class where I need to create class. Class will be in CL02. So what is the transition code to create a class? CL02. Okay. And here the class underscore. So test already we created. So again you cannot create. So RP means release process. Class underscore what I'm creating? RP. Class underscore RP I'm creating. So what is my class type? The class type is 032. Class type is 032. Enter your class underscore RP. Class type is 032. You simply need to click on create it. I need to click on create it. Okay. Now after click on creating, so what I do? This description if you enter, this is for release procedure purpose we are doing. Okay. This class what purpose we are doing? Release procedure purpose. So enter the description. Directly you need to go to the character. Okay. So directly you need to go to the character. Here I need to enter whatever the characteristics values I created, all the characteristics. You can write a note as per the business requirement. You can assign multiple characteristics values to the class. You can assign multiple characteristics values to the class as per my business requirement. I have created only one characteristics value. Like that, you can create a number of characteristics values to the class. So, what is the characteristics value created? Simply assign your characteristics value. Char underscore function group, right? So once you assign, so you can assign multiple characteristics values. So once you assign without any spelling mistake here, so simply you need to click on enter. Once you click on enter, the system will pick all the so description, purchase group, okay, and char format, numeric, okay. So all this now simply you need to click on save. So which class you created? Class underscore RP we created. So the class also just you come in here. What is the class you created? Class underscore class underscore RP we created it. So class underscore RP we created a new class here. The class underscore RP. Next we are into the third step here. Okay. So come to define release for purchasers. Define release for purchasers. Define release for purchasers. Okay. So pop-up will be open. So previously in before going to what we deleted all strategies we deleted. Okay. So then we deleted a course and down to up we came here. So why I deleted? Because if I want to practice, I need to create my own class. In entire system, class should be one. So that's what I create. I deleted all and I create freshly here. Okay. Now release group. What is meant by group? You need to understand. What is meant by group here? The group means some couple of employees will call as a group here. Okay. Group of employees. So employees will be identify the code. Group I can give any two digit like AB group or BC group or CD group or XY group. You know? Okay. So group means some YZ group I am going to create. So anything here, the client will give you what is the group I am going to create YZ. So just go to new entries, enter any group YZ, and release object system will pick automatically. But whatever the class you created, the class must enter. What is the class you created? The class underscore RP, right? So the class underscore RP. So go to new entries, enter your release group YZ, any group here two digit element and assign the class properly wherever underscore whatever the text you enter. Simply need to click on system will pick automatically release object here. And description I need to enter here. Okay, this is actually what purpose here? Description anything you enter. Release process purpose here. Okay. So this is the way you need to create your release. Okay. So group here. So once you create the release group in YZ group, I have some couple of employees. Okay, codes here. Okay. Now just come back. Okay, again you need to come back to pop-up. Now you need to double click on this release codes here. Release codes under this release. Okay, so group I need to define release codes here. So now how to maintain the codes? The codes, everything nomenclature will be given by client people. Simply go to new entries. Okay, what is the group you created? You created YZ group. Okay, under the YZ group, I have codes like 11 is my code here. Okay, one employee code. What is the name of the employee? Description you can write here. He is the clerk here. He is a clerk. Or he is a clerk. So here or purchase executive. Okay, anything here. Description like purchase executive. Some companies they will say something. Okay, clerk. Okay, and the same YZ group, another employee code 12. He is the manager here. Okay, purchase manager also you can write here. So he is the manager here. And again same YZ group. Okay, and my employee code is 13. He is the senior manager. Up to MD level you can configure. Okay. So the clerk, manager, and senior manager. So this is the way I need to define here. So senior manager. Is it clear for you all? So senior manager. Enter all this here. Now, what I need, just I created a new group. Next, under my group, I assigned codes. The codes will be given by different and description also will be given. Now, what is this workflow? Workflow is not belongs to us. Workflow separate consultant will be there. If workflow consultant is there in the project here, we will assign the workflow. So whenever the clerk is released, one mail will trigger to manager. Once the manager is released, again mail will trigger to senior manager. Okay. So where we will control this here in SPWP transition code. Okay. In SBWP transition code, in SBWP transition code, SBWP. Okay. In SBWP transition. So this is called business workplace. So which user ID I am using? Rajesh, right? So this is my user ID, workplace of the Rajesh here. So one mail trigger. Suppose I am the clerk here. Summary. So now it is done. You need to release here. So who will define this here? This will be defined by your workflow consultant here. Okay. So once you release it here automatically, your which PO need to release and all is the internal here. Okay. So this SBWP transition code, and this is actually the workflow consultant will be defined. No need to worry. So this workflow consultant is assigned workflow. So once the Rajesh clerk is released, we will go to the manager. Once manager release, senior manager. Simply need to click on save it. Now, after this, what I need to do? Release indicator, just observe, later we'll discuss here. So release strategies here. Okay. Now come to release indicator, just observe, you don't do anything here. Now come to release strategies. Okay. Now I want to define my strategy. Okay. Next to where I need to come, I need to define my strategy. Simply go to new entries. So I want to define just what is the group, we created, why is it, right? Enter why is it here. What is the strategy you want to define? I want a strategy S1. Any strategy you can write. Enter your group which you created and strategy S1 strategy, release strategy. Multiple strategy you can define in real time. So what is the description I need to enter here? Any description should be anything here. Okay. Release procedure, you are performing release procedure. And please observe automatically release codes will be open. What are the release codes you created? 3 codes: clerk, manager, and senior manager. Okay. When I open, automatic release codes will be open. In interest, they'll ask you what is the maximum codes for one strategy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 codes. Maximum one strategy we can give 8 codes here. So more than 8, you can create new strategy. So as per standard. But this release codes, see here, just I'll open. My first code is 11, right? So clerk. Okay. The second code is 12. Okay. And third code is 13 here. Enter here. So clerk, manager, senior manager. 100% in all the companies, 95%, more than 95% IRK. Once the clerk is released, then next manager need to be released. After the manager, senior manager. But some few percent of companies, okay, 1 or 2% of companies, the prerequisite will be, so what is, so the prerequisite of first senior manager to release, then manager, then clerk. So very rare companies, 1% of companies out of. But select the lower triangles. Select what is the triangles here? Lower triangles you need to select here. What is the meaning of selecting lower triangles here? So if lower checkboxes here, if so, what happened if you click on continue? So if you once you select the release prerequisites, what you selected lower triangle, right? So now you click on continue. If you go to statuses here, if nobody is not released once the PO is created, then it is blocked here. If only clerk is released here, still manager and senior manager, even that is also blocked. If clerk and manager is released, both are released, still it is blocked. If all are released, then only blocked. Means first who is releasing a clerk? 11 is clerk, right? If I selected a upper triangle here, then what happened here? First senior manager, it will be completely reverse. If I selected upper triangle, then what happened you need to understand. So very rare percent of companies here. Okay, if I selected upper triangle, if I go to release status, nobody's first senior manager released, senior manager and manager, senior manager and clerk here. The completely reverse is the hierarchy here. Okay, but mostly what we need to follow? So we need to follow lower triangles only, right? So only lower triangles here. Select this here. Okay. Click on here. Release status. Observe the release status. Once you'll give. Next, go to classification tab. In the classification tab, what are the values you have given? That values will come here. In classification tab, what are the values you have given? 000 you have given purchase group. 002 you 001, 002, 00100. These three purchase groups where you can in characteristics you have given it. So simply you need to click on complete. So now this screen actually, if I want to go to the next screen, you must click on this next screen. If you click on enter, you will not go. So you go to the next screen here. You need to click on. Okay, next screen. And after in classification, after giving the class, so you should not click on release simulation. First you need to save. First you need to save. Then you need to check your release simulation. You need to check your release simulation. If you click on release simulation, okay. Now please observe here. So now three codes is there, right? So here click on simulate release. Nobody is not released, still it is blocked. Suppose 11 is released here. This is electronic signature, right? If 11 is released, still it is blocked here. 11 means clear. The second 12. 12 is released, means manager released, still it is blocked. Okay. And 13 senior manager released, immediately it is released. Okay. So you can check your release simulation. Clear? Next, cancel. Cancel. Now test it end user side. Test it end user side. Okay. Now, whenever we are using this particular release groups, the system will get your release strategy or not. We need to observe. So, go to ME21 transition code. Go to ME21. ME21. Enter your vendor code here. 1000. Enter your purchasing group. Enter your purchase group. Enter company code. Enter the material code here. Sorry. Any one material code. Enter quantity. Which plant here? 1000 plant. Which location? 001 store. Now, if you go to edit tab, did you get your release strategy? No. When system will trigger the release strategy, if you click on message, which because this purchase group you use it, right? If you click on message during check here, the automatically release strategy new tab will be triggered at enter level because release purchase with classification, right? So if you click on message during check, if your all parameters correct here, automatically release strategy tab will trigger. New tab will trigger automatically when you enter your particular object here. So now you can observe which strategy we defined, what is your group, YZ group. In these three codes will be the employees. Okay, what is your release strategy name? S1, and it is once the PO is created also. Now again I will go to org data. If I use it, I will cross check. If I use it 000, if I use 000, if you click on message, so 000 is not there in your group, right? Automatically sub. Okay. Whichever the groups you are using for that particular group only, the system will subject to the release strategy. Is it clear for you? Again, suppose if I'm using 100 purchase group, 100 purchase group also we have used value, right? So use 100. So first you need to click on message index, automatically subjected to release strategy. Okay. Observe your release strategy tab in enter level. So for all the external purchase documents, only release purchase with classification enter level. So a couple of lines at a time you need to release it. Once you create PO, until unless this users is released, then only it will go to the vendor. Okay. So now I am the clerk. I want to release. What is my PO number? 450017182. So copy the PO number. So again is this PO. Okay. If I am trying to do the goods receipt also, it is not for example. If it will transmit also, I am trying to enter also. Immediately system will throws error. It is subjected to release strategy. Subjected not at release. Okay. Then where will release? This is single PO. We need to release ME29. At a time you need to release multiple POs ME28. So single PO when you need to release ME29. Go to ME29 transaction code. Go to ME29. Now go to other document. Enter your PO number. So already PO number is there. Now how to release? Clerk is released here. Still is blocked here. Next manager is released here. Still it is blocked here. So now senior manager is also reduced. Happily it is released. Now you need to click on serve. Now you can able to do the goods secure. For this, the process remains same for all the external purchase documents like contract, settlement, everything here. Okay, so this is the way today also you need to practice. Okay, so if you are okay, then we'll go to the next topic. Okay, SSV and Yamuna.
Yes, sir.
Okay, control for session. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time, same.
Okay. And Rajesh garu,
Yeah, yeah. Tell me SSV.
you told me you will use live examples, no?
Yes,
Live
yes.
POs and all. When
Okay.
will you start that live?
That after 3 4 sessions, I'll show you one business blueprint. Don't worry.
Okay,
Once
so
we'll
you will
complete,
do all the procedures for that business blueprint, no?
yeah, that once I will show the business blueprint, easily you can understand here what is the real time business. Okay,
Okay, okay, okay. Sure, thanks.
just this couple of classes will be very hard. Just you try to digest. Okay, so once you see the business
Okay.
blueprint, easily you can able to understand because the batch
Oh,
management release process are one time you are not able to understand. Some it is not like procurement process. Okay, so just you need
hmm.
to understand. After the session, you go through the multiple times and you need to practice. Then I will show you. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir.
thank you, thank you. Okay, thank you all.